show me how the stop sign works. The defending national champion Ashland Eagles enter tonight on a 73-game winning streak as they look to repeat. And they are going back to the Division II National Championship game Friday night, where they'll take on Central Missouri. The Jennies are back in the title game for the first time in 33 years. And after defeating 2016 national champion Lubbock Christian in the Elite Eight, they are now ready to dethrone the Eagles. Tonight, one team will hoist the national championship trophy and reign supreme in Division II. And we welcome you to the Sanford Pentagon here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, where tonight we will crown the 2018 NCAA Division II Women's National Champion on CBS Sports Network as the Jennies of Central Missouri take on the undefeated and defending national champion Ashland Eagles. Our bracket here in Sioux Falls looks this way. Ashland a convincing win. Central Missouri grinded one out. They're in the championship for the first time in 33 years. And this one we're excited for. Great to have you with us. A pleasure and an honor to be with you. Julianne Vianney played her college ball at Marist. She's with me, and great to be with you again. And my name is Ben Holden, and in this matchup, Ashland 73 straight wins, fifth longest win streak in all of college basketball, men's, women's, any division. The team they're facing 2 years ago, 7 games under 500. They turned it around. They're here. Clear that these two teams play contrasting styles, though.
Ashland plays the most up-tempo style in Division II basketball, up and down the floor. No team's been able to beat them in 2 years. That's a long time. And this Central Missouri team's going to try to slow them down. Teams have tried to play up and down with them, and it's not happening. You can't beat them in a track meet, so you've got to try to slow them down.
They're basically UConn of Division II is what they are, and you're going to see in these numbers total domination, those 73 straight wins, trying to go 37-0 for 2 consecutive years. As Julianne mentioned, Jody Johnson, sophomore player of the year. Their numbers offensively are mind-boggling, and it starts with a couple of their seniors for the Eagles.
Lena Snyder's the first one. She almost out-rebounded IUP the other day, single-handedly with 20 boards, tagging on 23 points. She was in an absolute zone all over the floor, just picking people apart, finding her spots and shots, and then Andy Doherty helped her out a bit, scored her 2,000th career point on an almost perfect night, shooting 9 for 10 from the floor, 21 points. She was playing out of her mind with tenacity from the tip, knowing where to take her shots, getting herself available and scoring.
She certainly did eclipse that 2,000-point mark. 2 players on their team have done that, the 2 young ladies that Julianne was just talking about. Talk about Central Missouri and Dave Slifer, their head coach. What a year it's been, a season to remember. They could set a new school record if they win tonight with their 30th win. They're here for the 3rd time in the title game. Paige Redmond, a junior, player of the year in their conference. They are a complete team from top to bottom.
They've done it by committee this whole season, so why stop now? Whether it be Kayana Lee, the defensive player of the year, her athleticism has been unbelievable. Kelsey Williams being the X factor, Paige Redmond stretching the floor, or Megan Skaggs on the defensive end. She gets it on defense, and then she gets her offense off of the steals, finishes tough shots. 4 players ended up in double figures the other day. What a balanced team this is.
It really is. Going to be fun here tonight. National championship on the line here in Division II. Can Central Missouri find a way to stop a team that's won 73 in a row? And the last national championship as Ashland looks to go back-to-back? The answer when we come back.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by AT&T. College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by AT&T.
And we welcome you back inside of the Sanford Pentagon Division II Women's National Championship. Ashland, Ohio, and Central Missouri just about set to square off. Julianne, the starting lineups. You talked about some of the young ladies in the open. Who else grabs your eyes?
Well, how about Megan Skaggs? I mean, I thought she was really impressive the other day. Just her defensive savviness into her offense. I liked her flow. But they've got a lot of players that can do something. That's why 4 players were in double figures, Ben.
Very good. And the head coach of the Jennies of Central Missouri is Dave Slifer. He's in his 14th season, 280 wins, most wins in school history. He'll be opposed today by a young lady, 37 years young, her 3rd season as their head coach. How about that bottom line? The best win percentage in NCAA history, any division, any sport, minimum 100 games. Are you kidding me? 104-2?
It's pretty unbelievable. And when we talked to her just yesterday all about that, she said her players are too busy having fun to worry about what everyone else is saying and to worry about this streak. They're just going out there and focusing on the player in front of them, which has been impressive all season.
2018 National Championship is underway. Over and back call right off the opening tip against Central Missouri.
And this is a game, Ben, where you can't get in a hole too quickly against Ashland because they score so much that you can't get behind, and you have to be able to score with them.
3,592 points they've scored coming into this game as Snyder gets the first points of the 2018 National Championship. Misty Overstreet, Ty Bills, and Tanita Dumas are referees here tonight, Julianne. Here are the Jennies. First trip to the offensive end. What's the key for them in this end of the floor tonight?
Well, they need to take good shots, and they can't force shots right in the beginning of the shot clock because that's going to play right into the hands of Ashland. Take your time, get a good shot, and you've got a rebound on the offensive end as well.
And they did. That'll help their cause. They get another one with Lee inside, and it's knocked out of bounds by Ashland, so possession remains with Central Missouri. She was impressive last night.
She really was, and she's going to have to continue to be a beast underneath. She's got that athletic build. She's very strong. I think she's a good matchup with Lena Snyder inside.
14 points, 11 rebounds for her. She's got the rock, does Lee, with 7 of 12 shooting it. This young lady impressive too. Williams gave it up in the corner now. This is Megan Skaggs trying to take it in there. Defended tightly in there by Andy Doherty.
And Megan Skaggs, we saw her do this quite a bit the other day. A great job trying to create. I think that's a foul. She was kind of leaning into her. A missed call there early.
So far, Dave Slifer's plan, now we're early on in the game, but the possession they've had has lasted nearly a minute.
That's good. That's good for them. They've got 7 to shoot here.
Yep, down to 5 and 4. Redmond takes it in and puts it off the window.
And Ben, that all happened because of those extra possessions. That's what Central Missouri's got to do. You're going to have to be the first to the basketball all night.
That possession lasted 63 seconds. A 2-2 tie. Ashland, they won the national championship, as we mentioned, last year and 2013, and that's too easy.
And those are defensive slip-ups that cannot happen. Off the handoffs, you have to know when you're switching.
It was Maddie Dakin that took it in and scored. Now the Jennies have it again. Kelsey Williams, man, was she good last night, number 13. In the semifinal round, she was great. We go back to Ashland.
Within about 10 seconds, they're scoring, and you need to know that I've got to switch that. That's just a miscommunication by Central Missouri. But good movement again for Ashland.
National Player of the Year, Jody Johnson gave it up, now got it back. She's got it. Stimpert pulls up and sticks it. Ashland on top by 4 with 7:35 to go in the opening quarter.
And I like Stimpert's game. She's steady Eddie out there. When she gets a shot, she's going to knock it down.
Here she is hustling to save it. There's that pressure. Ashland, they pressure you at both ends. Very difficult team to stay with and play with. Into the corner now, they go back into the block. Snyder gets free, great step move there to put it up and through. It's a 6-point lead.
What's so hard about covering Snyder is that when you double her, she's got players from the perimeter all around her that are going to make shots. So you basically have to be able to play one-on-one against her in the post. But Ashland all over the floor on this end. So much talk about their offense. They score 100 points a game, but they do it because they're tenacious on the defensive end. And we know, by talking to Coach Freilich, that they started this a couple years ago. They started doing the double teaming, and that helped them keep the pace.
There's Megan Skaggs with the left hand. Gets it down to a 4-point game. Ashland 4 of 4 shooting it so far in the contest. Snyder checked out of the game. They've replaced her in the lineup with 33, Sarah Hart. Outside from downtown, that one's through.
See, the way they're able to space the floor out makes it so much harder to cover inside out. Just so balanced.
Here's Redmond. Into the hands of Kelsey Williams. Skaggs goes inside. And they get it to go. Morgan Fleming came in averaging 12.5 points into the semifinal round.
And good patience, and she's going to have to get it going.
Beautiful pass and a nice finish by Sarah Hart.
You really got to be on a swivel. Your head has to be ready for help defense.
Here comes Lee. They get sloppy with it. And they lose the basketball now. 4 turnovers.
Look back at Snyder. She gets hit here, and she's been grimacing quite a bit since this play. Her left hand, she grabs it. So we'll keep an eye on that left hand. And she's still doing it. So she got hit. That could be a problem. Certainly had a heck of a performance on Wednesday. It was fun to watch.
She had the 7th 20-20 game in school history for Ashland. 20 points, 20 rebounds. 6 field goals from the Eagles of Ashland by 5 different players to this point. Wide open Stimpert. Steps back for 3. Got it! Nothing but net.
Keep that hand up when you rotate over. You better be there on the catch because Stimpert is feeling it.
The whole team is. They're 7 for 7. Perfect shooting the basketball so far. 10-point lead for Ashland. Countering at the other end, though. Jolene Ships with a bucket. Stempert's got it back. Was watched by Redmond. Now Snyder. Left-handed shot wouldn't go. First shot they missed in the game for Ashland.
And Renee Stimpert led this league in assists and assist-to-turnover ratio, but she can knock down the tray. Way to space the floor, and Ashland is hot from the start.
The Jennies of Central Missouri here for the first time since 1985, looking for their first title since '84. On Monday, the Jennies took on third-seeded Lubbock Christian, the Lady Chaps, in the Elite Eight here in Sioux Falls. Jennies had 4 players in double figures. Sound familiar? Led by Morgan Fleming, 16. They cashed in from the line with 22 free throws, and they upset the 2016 Division II National Champions on that day. And here's a look at their tournament history. Their 21st overall appearance, 6 games over 500 in their tournament appearances. Third time here, as I mentioned. They won it all some 34 years ago. Your take on the game so far to this point, Julianne?
I'm out of breath, Ben. I mean, it's up and down. This is exactly what we saw Wednesday from Ashland. I mean, I think Central Missouri is doing the best they can from the start. Now, with them, it's about playing for 40 minutes, because to be able to hang with Ashland is not an easy thing. It's a team that plays fast. So not a bad start, but they've got 4 turnovers, which is too many. And Ashland is 9 points off those turnovers. And so you've got to go into this game and take care of the ball. Now, Central Missouri starts pretty much 2 point guards. So,
yeah,
I mean, that shouldn't be a problem for them, but so far it's been.
Doherty takes it in, missed a layup. And it's going to go over to the Jennies of Central Missouri. So Ashland, they're now 7 of 9 shooting the rock. Robin Freilich played her college basketball at Davidson. He's an assistant at Ashland for many years before getting the opportunity after Sue Ramsey, who was there many years. Good bucket inside as Jolene Ships does it again.
And that's what you want to do if you're Central Missouri. Pick your spots to run and push it a bit in transition. Don't do it all the time, but pick your spots. That's what Coach Schleifer was telling us before the game.
6-point game, wide open look for 3 in the corner. Rebound pulled down by Dakin, and she's called for the foul. The foul called on Maddie Dakin, the junior out of Lima, Ohio.
I mean, look at Kelsey Williams here, taking the heat, toughing it out. I love the way she plays, the one that we called the other day. They call her Grandma because she's the oldest one on the team, 6th-year senior.
Turnover,
and another one.
And this one's on Johnson now. Going back to Wednesday, Jody Johnson, she got in foul trouble early. She had her 3rd foul. This is only her 1st, but she had her 3rd 34 seconds into the 2nd quarter.
And Paige Redmond taking it. That's the right call. And these are the kinds of tenacious plays that you need to do. You've got to play with that kind of intensity to stay with Ashland.
Here's Paige Redmond. Good passing inside. They looked in there to Sydney Crockett, who was checked in. We got a foul called here on Central Missouri.
Foul number 23, Jolene Ships. Her 2nd.
First on Jolene Ships in the game. 6-point lead. They're the defending national champions here in Division II.
Central Missouri in a zone here. That could be deadly.
Open look, no good. Rebound tracked, then lost, then gathered back in, then thrown away. Redmond's got it. Here comes Paige Redmond. Redmond takes it to the bucket, and it goes! Down to a 4-point game. A 6-0 run. Here's Doherty, gets in, great job, but she couldn't finish. She's had a couple like that, in tight, can't put them away.
And Paige Redmond with the strong take here. How about that assertiveness to the basket? She took that the full length of the court. Played with so much swag on Wednesday, and that is just the way that she plays. She's a tough nut. We talked to her yesterday for a while. Kind of a quiet demeanor, but on the court, she is tough.
Love what she told us about her teammate, Emily Jobs, was the one they wanted, and they recruited them both, and Redmond was kind of, what'd she say, she was the throw-in? I mean, she said that. We didn't say that.
She ended up being the better player. She's a superstar.
Conference Player of the Year this year. In the MIAA, I should say. We got a foul called here as Doherty goes down. So does Stimpert for Ashland. So Ashland started the game 7 for 7, Julianne. They're now 0 for 5. And that foul was second on Jolene Ships of Central Missouri. She goes to the bench, and we will see Sydney Skaggs check in to replace her. 2.5 to play in the quarter. Snyder thought about it, then thought better to Stimpert. That one deflected and into the waiting hands there of Central Missouri, and it was taken away by Morgan Fleming.
An uncharacteristic turnover.
Here's Redmond from downtown. Got it! Paige Redmond! Not bad for a throw-in, huh, Juliet?
And she's come to play. She has come.
1 point game. Here's Johnson, no good.
You get a couple stops here, and you're making shots, and it's a 1 point game. They're keeping this close.
A 9-0 run for Central Missouri. That one they can't get to go. And knocked out of bounds by Williams there, where she was trying to battle with Stimpert.
And Central Missouri with the good defense and not the best offense, and it leads to a Paige Redmond three. She is ready, and she is pretty far from that line.
So Ashland has turned it over 3 times in their last 5 trips down the floor. Snyder the rebound, and that's what she does. She's so tough inside.
That's a much-needed bucket for them. They haven't scored in it. Well, for them, a long time.
For them, an eternity for them.
Yeah.
Here's a turnover. Goes to Doherty. Andy Doherty, lefty, missed another one. Johnson can't get it to go. Tries again. And the foul's called inside. With 1:15 to go in this first quarter.
And this is the way to push the tempo and to follow your shot. How about that? A nice job by Jody Johnson getting the extra opportunity.
So here's the National Division II Player of the Year, who, like Redmond, pretty interesting story. She had to make a tough choice when it came to athletics. America's favorite rivalry makes its way to the Diamond Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. College baseball on CBS Sports Network leads off with Army taking on Navy live from Camden Yards, right here on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. So Jody Johnson was not only very good in basketball, had opportunities with volleyball too.
She didn't even know she wanted to play basketball. She didn't have the love of the game left in her, but boy, something in her clicked and it reignited. She's
Snyder
happy.
with the steal, yeah. Snyder takes it away, got Johnson with her. Snyder wildly goes up into the hands of Sydney Crockett. She's hounded.
See, that was a good play. You don't want to bail someone out. Most players will bail you out in a situation like that in transition. Stay straight up, make them make the tough shot.
Nearly a steal there by Johnson. 11 total turnovers. Could that be nerves, the stage and all? What do you think?
I think so. I think it's a combination of the nerves, and then both teams have been pretty aggressive.
Down to 20 seconds left in the quarter. Shot clock is off. And go for the final shot, leading by 5. Fans to their feet. Snyder, a 13-footer, that rimmed out. And they got to launch one. Williams heaves it, and no good. I don't think it would have counted anyway. What a quarter.
Yeah, really great. I mean, Central Missouri keeping this one close, and the closer that they keep this game, the more confidence they'll have, and that nearly went in. You thought that was. She hurled it up. But we got a good one here, Ben.
We do. 2018 National Championship here in Division II. End of the first quarter. It's a 20-15 lead in favor of Ashland on top of Central Missouri. You're watching the 2018 NCAA Division II Women's National Championship on CBS Sports Network. want to take the 12. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. The Ashland Eagles out of Ohio have played in 3 NCAA Division II championship games. Their first was in 2012. They lost to Shaw University in overtime. Then in 2013 against Dowling, Carrie Doherty, sister of current star Andy, scored 24 to lead them to their first championship. Then last year against Virginia Union, Lena Snyder and company capped off a 37-0 season en route to the school's second national championship. And a closer look at multiple champions we see.
Only 4. Ashland won the title last season, so they have the opportunity here to get back-to-back national titles. What a feat.
And that Cal Poly Pomona team was the first of their back-to-backs was against Central Missouri in 84-85. Second quarter underway. Great to have you with us.
The biggest deficit Ashland's had all year has been 13 points. I mean,
yeah,
they have really steamrolled teams, but there's been some close ones here and there.
Ashland started red hot. They were 7 of 7. They're now 2 for 13 since then. What do you attribute that to?
I attribute it to the Central Missouri defense, and they also made some shots too. And let's be honest, when you're making some shots, the confidence rises and then the intensity goes up on the defensive end. Sometimes it flip-flops where you gain that energy.
Plenty of energy here. Heritage Court inside the Sanford Pentagon here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. To Julianne Vianney, all of our crew, my name is Ben Holden. Great to have you with us here. Division II National Championship, shot clock violation. So outstanding work in the defensive end of the court against Dave Slifer's team.
That's where the bench has to be up and screaming about the shot clock so that the players know they've got to take one, because nobody knew how much time was on the clock there.
7 field goals for Central Missouri. They've turned it over 8 times.
Good call.
Yep, you're right. Spot on. You love this time of the year.
I do. It's all about the basketball. It's all about who comes to play that day.
Yep. Here's the press.
That's why you can see so many upsets, Ben.
Yeah, Snyder read that perfectly. Johnson thought about the 3. Runs out of real estate. Lena Snyder. Back to Jody Johnson from downtown. Off the mark. Rebounded inside by Lee. She's had a good week here in Sioux Falls. Jody Johnson without a field goal to this point for Ashland. Lena Snyder out challenging on her counterpart, number 3. Kayana Lee there, and she's called for the personal foul.
And you're just reaching a little bit here, and she actually took a shot there too to the face. Could have been a double foul.
Could have, yeah.
She's getting beat up a little bit today. But Central Missouri's being physical with her.
You have to have some physicality against this Ashland team.
One thing Coach Slifer told us is that he needed to start recruiting a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
So he does have 6 foot and over guards out there.
Skaggs the miss, Johnson the rebound. And she traveled with it. Referee saying she traveled with it. What do you think?
And we look here at the rebound, and well, she didn't lift that left foot.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a travel.
Well,
she had possession of it.
call stands. Here's
if she dragged it, it would have been a walk.
Kept that instep right on the floor. Good job by Lee to hustle, keep it alive.
They may have thought she dragged it slightly.
Here's Megan Skaggs down the lane. Nice job off the heel, and it drops. 5-point game. Here's that pace, a frenetic pace they play at Ashland. That's what they want to do. You referenced that game they were down 13 in. It was against Grand Valley State. They go inside to Doherty, and Lee got a piece, another chance, and that won't go. They were down 13, came back, and ended up winning at 96-90 in overtime.
Yeah. So they did not try to slow them down. They tried to score with them. And they clearly have some offense where they were able to do that. Not every team is able to score with them.
Here's Williams. Gave it up to Megan Skaggs. Now Lee. Shot clock down to 5. Lee.
That's a matchup problem.
14-footer, nothing but net.
That's very nice. And way to recognize it. Kiana Lee has the height on the switch.
And that ball batted out of bounds. Skaggs looked like she ran into her teammate, was reaching for her hand as we look back at the last bucket.
Ashland had this switching man-to-man here, and Lee recognized that she had the matchup problem, and she finished.
22 on the shot clock. Jody Johnson looking for her first field goal of this game. Gets it back. Now Stimpert. Down on the block, Doherty. She traveled.
Good defense.
She's having a tough game.
But Kiana Lee is playing real tough on that block. And Kiana Lee, see, she's already there. And when we saw Wednesday's game, nobody was actually getting there.
And we come back out, and they get an easy one as Lee puts it up and in. It's a one-point game. And Central Missouri's faithful going nuts. 6:33 to go. One-point game here in the Women's Division II National Championship. Well, like the players and coaches and the fans, the last game of the year, the mascots are having fun here in this Division II National Championship game as well. Make sure to tune in to the 2018 Reese's College All-Star Game March 30th, live right here on CBS Sports Network from San Antonio, Texas. Let's take a look back at Central Missouri's last basket that forced a timeout by Ashland.
And this is a nice pass to Kiana Lee, and just fallen asleep defensively here for Ashland. People walking back with their heads faced in the other direction. Renee Stimper wasn't even looking at the ball. I mean, that's just a cardinal sin in basketball. You've got to have your eye on the ball and everybody on the floor. Just caught them sleeping.
So a 6-0 run for Central Missouri to get it to a 1-point game. And I know this stat that I just put in front of you, we were handed, really is surprising you.
Ashland is 0 fast break points for a team that really scores the bulk of their points that way is incredible. So you have to give credit to Central Missouri's ability to get back defensively. They're also battling on the glass tonight too, getting some second and third chances. They're playing aggressive. They're breaking this press. That was another possession in a zone. They're playing some zone here, and it looks pretty good. Ashland's missed some shots.
Williams, the pass a little bit high, and unable to handle it was Fleming. And a turnover goes over to Ashland. They started 7 for 7 the last 9 minutes. Before we came back and resumed play, they were 2 of 16 with 7 turnovers. On the block they go. Now on the paint, Snyder, no good. That's a handful they missed from close range here, Julianne.
That zone, it's been the zone. Nice rotation. These guys know how to move into space and communicate.
Here's Redmond, the blow by, and takes it in. Goes right around Stimper. First lead of the game for Central Missouri. And get it to go inside, and Dakin tried to get it away, but to no avail.
Central Missouri has the toughness and the interior play that really has helped them inside. Nobody's been able to stop Lena Snyder throughout the tournament, and it led to this basket. Keanu Lee defensively, she's the defensive player of the year for a reason, and then she got her best player on the team, the ball, Paige Redmond, with the finish. But so much has begun on the defensive end to help them thrive offensively.
Well, you saw the officials. The crew chief is Misty Overstreet. Ty Bills and Tanita Dumas round out our crew, and they're going to look back here. I want to look at the last foul is what they're looking at for this official review here with 5:24 to go in the first half, second quarter, and a 1-point lead for Central Missouri. Here, let's see if we can dissect it.
They're looking if anything's probably near the head. I didn't see anything there. That was all basketball.
Okay. So it was Maddie Dakin there for Ashland who took it up, and then the ball went into the hands of Morgan Fleming.
Common foul.
Yeah.
I think they're looking at Maddie Dakin potentially when her arm flailed up like that, but she never got her arm in her face or anything, in Fleming's face.
So they continue to talk and discuss and make sure they get this right, obviously in this magnitude of a game. Anything there? I didn't see anything there by Lee, did you? When Dakin went up?
No, I really didn't see anything that was uncommon or flagrant.
I mean, they didn't blow the whistle there, so that wouldn't.
No, it was nothing. It was this second play here.
Yeah.
And I saw nothing. So I'm not quite sure what they're looking at. Except right there when the arm went up. That's the only thing I can think of when Skaggs' arm went up.
Whatever the case may be and how this turns out, Ashland has not scored in the last 4 minutes and 16 seconds of game time.
See, there was no foul called there. I mean,
do you think that could be the foul?
Keanu Lee could have, but they're looking at they're looking at that now. 20 here in that situation. If anything,
a little shot.
Dakin elbowed her after Lee walked into her a little bit. It was a little fun, a little basketball. I mean, that to me is a nothing.
Good catch by.
It's competitiveness. This is a national championship game. It's not like she got in her face here. Let's take a look at it again. It's not like she got in her face and started talking to her, taunting her.
Good catch by our crew with that overhead look, the tape room, and folks
Unless
in the
she
front.
was talking to her, I don't know. I didn't see her face.
And they're taking their time with this. Robin Freilich, head coach of Ashland, waiting and wondering like the rest of us. So too is Dave Slifer at the end of his bench.
It's always fun. I mean, to me, Ben, it's all about this is competitiveness. This is basketball.
You're going to get the verdict.
Contact and incidental. We determined incidental contact, nothing different.
All right.
And it ended up being incidental contact, which is exactly what we said, Ben. And
yeah,
it took quite a while to figure that one out. But it was nothing flagrant.
So
I'm actually surprised they reviewed it, but
yeah. 2 on Maddie Dakin. She's on the bench with 2 points and those 2 fouls.
Nothing wrong with a little competitive edge.
Ashland fans do not hear this very often at all. They are down in the game, albeit by a single point. They're down 23-22. Redmond gets some room. Defended by Brooke Smith.
And Paige Redmond's got to be careful she doesn't push off on the dribble.
Skaggs lead, got it, and she'll go to the free throw line. Great execution by the Jennies there.
And Kiana Lee has been the difference maker. How about that lob pass and then the extra pass? 3 players touching the basketball. Skaggs finding the dipping player. What a beautiful finish by Lee.
Personal foul on Sarah Hart. And a rebound by Megan Skaggs. First foul in the game on Hart.
Morgan Fleming knows where to place the ball in those post-entry passes.
Here's Lee. Megan Skaggs. Mismatch in terms of size. They had a double on her with Jody Johnson helping out. Here's Kelsey Williams. Fleming thought about it. Shot clock down to 4 now. They're going to make a move here soon. Williams inside, wide open, Lee! Didn't get it away though. Oh, is that close?
Half a second earlier would have been beautiful. You got that slip screen, yeah, wide open. Not a smart play to actually leave her, but it worked out. But Kiana Lee's been the difference maker with her physicality. We said this Wednesday, played a couple of years of football in high school, was a linebacker her freshman and sophomore year. She's very strong and athletic. No problem bodying up.
Here's a ball that's coming in our neighborhood. And it's going to go over to the Jennies again.
And Lena Snyder's been out here. Take note of that for Ashland. She is the physical one inside, so Central Missouri's gone ahead here.
Another one from Central Missouri. They're up by 5 now. A 12-0 run. Ashland trying to put a little stop to that. The 3-ball good from Brooke Smith.
And Ashland has the ability to make shots in a hurry. And this is what Smith's in here for. She wants to hound the point guard like crazy. Nice job breaking that pressure. That's been a big key here.
Megan Skaggs with it. Feeds it inside. And it won't go. It's Fleming again. Second effort. She got it.
That's too easy. Morgan Fleming just following her shot. Nobody putting a body on her.
Jody Johnson gives it off. Hard up top to Doherty. Doherty going to try a 3-ball. Way off. She does not look like herself at all so far today.
And this is a great job by Morgan Fleming. She misses the first, but she follows her own shot. No one for Ashland putting a body on her. A little too easy, but a nice job staying with it. And that's been the story here for Central Missouri, just battling.
Battling and shooting it well. 64% they're shooting it from the floor, and approaching 5 minutes, a 14-3 run for the Jennies. They add to it, Williams. Little 12-foot pop. The lead is 6.
Defensively, this 2-3 zone has been a saver.
Rebound by Lee. Here's Fleming with it.
I give credit to Coach Schleifer playing the zone because it's a risk when you play a team like Ashland that can shoot so well from out there. But they're rotating really well and extending it.
Fleming tries one from 3. 8 of 11. They are in this quarter shooting it. And they miss on the pass there for Snyder. And Sarah Loomis tried to find her.
And Central Missouri continuing to move without and with the basketball. How about this play? A beautiful job by Kelsey Williams going off that on-ball screen tight. And Kiana Lee knowing to roll out to give her that space. Williams with that mid-range jumper was impressive this whole tournament.
Jody Johnson, number 21, on the ball for Ashland. Check back in. She's 0 for 3. Does have 2 points, though. Under 2 to play in the half. Look at Redmond exploding down the lane. The lead is 8. Now 6 as Stimper answers.
Everybody assertive, right? Get into the rack.
Here's Williams to Lee. Right to it again.
See, now you're seeing the exploitation of Ashland's full court press. And Central Missouri's exploiting it. They're able to break it, and they're getting easy baskets at the other end. So many teams this year have not been able to get past that press. But Central Missouri's got good ball handlers. And this is the turnover.
To your point, 35 points for Central Missouri, 32 in the paint.
And most of them have been up in transition out of that zone. Or just moving well with the ball.
Stimpert on the ball. She'll be called for the foul. Trying to stay there with Kelsey Williams. That's the first on Renee Stimpert. Paige Redmond had a strong first half here so far for Central Missouri. Lena Snyder takes it away. 8-point deficit for number 1 seeded, number 1 ranked Ashland, who's won 73 games in a row in the last 2 years. With 54.6 seconds remaining, the foul called on Megan Skaggs. That's 2 on her. Fleming comes in to replace Skaggs for the remainder of the half. And this one deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with Ashland. Ashland in the quarter, 7 points, 7 turnovers. Stimpert, double team, gave it off. Snyder, that one goes. And it's down to a 6-point deficit for Ashland.
And she's been a little bit quiet tonight, especially because Kiana Lee's giving her a hard time.
Snyder into double figures. She's got 10. Shot clock down to a dozen. Game clock now down to 20. Williams knocked away. Good defense by Jody Johnson, the player of the year in Division II. Stimpert gave it off. Doherty takes it in. Final seconds here. They got to hurry. Redmond going to heave it. And out of bounds with 0.4 of a second left. And a 4-point lead for Central Missouri.
A very good, unselfish play there to end the half for Ashland.
Here's a heave from Stimpert. Off the mark. What a half. And coming up on AT&T at the half, Brent Stover, Swin Cash, Wally Zerbiak, and Gary Parrish. They're all in the studio in New York to discuss tonight's NCAA men's late Sweet 16 games. Back here in South Dakota, Julianne and I will take a closer look at NCAA Division I and Division III women's basketball. And we'll have our first half highlights and stats and a whole lot more. That'll do it. End of the first half here. Central Missouri trying to pull off the upset. They're on top by 4. You're watching the Division II Women's National Championship on CBS Sports Network. Just about set to begin the third quarter. 35-31, the number 6 seed on top of the number 1 seed, and they're doing it because of this.
Well, points in the paint has been a key. 32-18 for Central Missouri, and it's been a combination of penetrating to the basket, of exploiting the full court press that Ashland has put on, and Central Missouri's been able to break it. And look at these easy buckets that they're getting. Kayana Lee with the finish there, but it's been several players. Paige Redmond playing with a toughness that I really like at the point position, and that has been the story here today, and that 12-0 run was a big key.
It's our AT&T game summary.
65% there, Ben.
Yeah.
For Central Missouri.
Getting it done. So for Ashland, their lowest first half point total of the season. It's only the second time they've trailed at the half this year. The other time was the game you and I referenced in the first half, the game against Grand Valley State. Great to have you with us, Julianne Vianney, former Marist guard, Ben Holden, all of our great crew with you here for the Division II National Championship game. Ashland, 73 straight wins, trying to go back-to-back in the National Championship department. They're in the white uniforms against Central Missouri, trying to win their first title since 1984. Short ball goes right into the hands of Kelsey Williams. Here is Fleming, took it inside, and Doherty's there, and she's going to get the foul. She was 9 of 10 from the field Wednesday. Tonight, 1 of 8 is Doherty.
That's her first personal foul.
Andy Doherty.
First foul of the game.
Yeah. First free throw of the game, which is pretty incredible. Between both teams are attacking the basket. But Central Missouri's first free throw. But they've been attacking. Haven't gotten to the line yet.
Just 2 for Ashland, and they're both courtesy of Jody Johnson. Central Missouri the rebound. They lead by 5. Johnson's got the basketball. Double team.
Ooh, that's a push off. Yeah.
Williams, yeah, it should be.
See, this is what I like about Central Missouri. They're pushing right back. They're playing physically. That has been important. They're bodying up. They're sacrificing themselves. That time, Kelsey Williams doing it. But you've got to love the energy and the heart on that end of the floor.
2 fouls on Jody Johnson, her 3rd turnover of the game as well. Megan Skaggs into the corner. Fleming thought about it. Now she'll take it down the lane and missed it. Snyder's got the ball. 5-point deficit for Ashland. 3 ball on the way. Snyder rebounded by our counterpart, number 3, Kayana Lee. Double team on Redmond. Lee, the former high school linebacker, as you mentioned in the first half, her freshman and sophomore years. Here's Redmond, knocked it down! Paige Redmond has come to play today. The lead is 8.
She's so calm. I love her demeanor. Doesn't look one bit nervous, and she's come to play. She's performing at a high level here. Great job off the bounce, creating a little space for herself, and as soon as the defense lays off her and Andy Doherty, she realizes it, she pops it over her head.
Foul was called on Kelsey Williams. That's her first. Jody Johnson, good pass to Dak in there, and that's an easy one. She finishes to get it down to a 6-point deficit.
And one of the few moments Central Missouri was sleeping and not rotating right defensively.
Here's Williams up top. Open look, she took it. Now Stimpert will take it in. Missed it, Fleming the rebound. A lot of layups missed so far in this game for Ashland. Not like them at all. Stimpert on Redmond. Now the double, they free up Lee. Lee missed it. And referees are going to talk first. going to stay with the Jennies of Central Missouri. That look says it all.
Oh, see here what happened. That was tough to tell. But she looked at the referee on the sideline there.
It stays with Central Missouri. Megan Skaggs in tight. Good defense there by Andy Doherty. .24 on the shot clock. Here's Redmond for Williams. Williams in trouble. Turned it over. Good pressure from the Eagles there.
And that's Ashland's style and what they've got to certainly try to get back to.
Checking in for the Eagles, number 24,
Brooke Smith, 24, and Sarah Hart, 33, have checked in, replacing Dakin, number 20 there, and Andy Doherty for a bit of a breather.
Both teams have 13 points off turnovers, so they have executed off of that.
Stimpart knocked it down from downtown. It's down to a one-possession game. Redmond down court. Lee. Redmond wants it. Open look for three. Short. Chance to tie it with a three-pointer.
Renee Stimpert has come up in important moments when they need a bucket. She has knocked down some threes. Nice job. Quick release with that. Playing with confidence. And that was a big one to cut this thing down.
10 in the game for Renee Stimpert. Here comes Ashland. A three-pointer or a three-point play would tie this thing up. It's been a while since it's been tied. Outside, Stimpert tries it. Rebounded by Williams.
And she gets some arc on that shot.
Central Missouri, 1 of 7 from the floor so far in the third quarter. And we played nearly 4 minutes. And a whistle and a foul called on Ashland. That's one on Brooke Smith.
Checking in for Central Missouri, number 23, Jolie Shipp. And for Ashland, number 20, Maddie Dakin. And number 30, Andy Doherty.
Dakin and Doherty back in the game for Ashland. Here's Redmond open, spots up, got it! Paige Redmond, another three ball.
She's their star.
And Johnson and her collided. And Paige Redmond with 17.
Paige, this is all that gun work in the gym. She shoots with the gun quite a bit. We know she's one of the hardest workers they've got. A gym rat. I like it. I used to shoot that thing all the time. It's the shooting machine, and that's why she's making all those shots.
I could tell there was a connection when you two were talking about that yesterday. I figured you'd spent countless hours on that. And
she takes a lot of shots, which is why she can shoot well.
Good pass from Hart. Doherty, the finish.
That's good movement for Ashland. They get good looks when they're moving the ball.
42-38. Central Missouri with the lead. Foul down on the deck, and that one appears to be going on Sarah Hart. It will. That's her second.
Sarah Hart, her second personal, fourth of the quarter on the Eagles.
Fourth of the quarter. On Ashland. .521 remaining in this third quarter. Into the hands of Paige Redmond. Now Fleming. Guarded there by Andy Doherty. Fleming kicks out. Williams wide open all day. Knocked it down! Kelsey Williams buries one from three-point range.
Old school penetration and pitch.
Rudy Johnson, nowhere to go. Falling down, threw it away. She's way back behind the play. 5 on 4 here. Redmond into the corner. Crockett.
Oh, that looks like she might have gotten bumped too.
7-point deficit. Hart. Brooke Smith for Dakin. Turned over again.
Lots of unforced errors here for Ashland. Certainly don't see it often from them. They forced 28 turnovers a game.
Jolene Ships nearly lost the dribble. Redmond's wide open. Shot clock's at 5. They're going to move. Williams. She's got to get rid of it. Not going to. Great defense by Ashland.
And Central Missouri continuing to maintain this lead. How about the little penetration and pitch action? Vintage basketball, and the 3 is nailed by Kelsey Williams. And they continue to soar here.
Seven-point lead. Central Missouri on top of Ashland. They've won 73 in a row, trying to go back-to-back national championships. Before we get back to it, want to remind you, Toughest Sport on Dirt takes the stage Sunday, 5 Eastern for the Auction Invitational. The 25th PBR Unleash the Beast series continues right here on CBS Sports Network. Miscues for Ashland. This is something they are not used to, Julianne.
Just been a lot of unforced errors and then open shots that typically they make and they're just not executing. And that's why I always say when you get to this kind of a game, it's about which team can execute on that night. And Central Missouri, I'm going to give them credit. They have defended really hard and they've been able to force players to take tough shots. They've been able to body up to Ashland.
Snyder.
And they've done a nice job on Snyder. I mean, what we saw Snyder do the other day, even though she's got, I think, 12 points now, but what we saw her do, it was like every time down the floor she was scoring. So yeah, they've limited her a bit.
Paige Redmond leading the way for Central Missouri, but it's taken away here by Ashland. Five-point game, two-possession game. Stimpert inside. There's Doherty.
How about that post-entry pass by Stimpert? Doherty with the seal. Really nice play.
The lead is 3 for Central Missouri. 2 years ago, they were 11 and 18. Nice move there to get it in closer by Fleming. They're going to call the block, though, with 2:34 to go in the quarter. And it's on Doherty, her second.
And Stimpert, what a nice job just using that right arm with the post-entry pass, and then Andy Doherty with the catch and finish. I'll tell you what, Stimpert will find you wherever you are. She finds creative ways to get people the ball.
Fleming, a 74.5% free throw shooter. The Ashland.
A little bit of sweat on this floor.
Yeah. Players are taking it into their own hands. They're like, we'll just clean it up.
I think they're working hard today.
Coaches helping out, training staff in there as well. Clean up in aisle 1.
The pros coming out here to get it done.
Yeah, there's the sweeper they're bringing out. Clean that up. Four-point lead. Morgan Fleming patiently waiting at the line as they get the floor dried up there in front of the Ashland Eagles bench. Lena Snyder's got it. 4-point deficit facing Ashland. Here's Johnson. Trying to go up. Couldn't finish. Batted back to her by Dakin. She draws the foul as Johnson, as Williams got knocked down to the deck. Johnson hasn't made a field goal yet. That's now 2 fouls on Williams.
It's been a hard night for Johnson. It really has. She has not been able to get one good look, and I think that might have gotten her a little bit excited. Finally, she gets to the line to manufacture a couple of points.
National Player of the Year at the line. She scored all of her points at the line. 3 for 3, averaging 19 a game.
She's shot 60% from 3 throughout the season. Just hasn't gotten her rhythm yet tonight.
The lead is 2. The full court press. Williams trying to break it. Got through there. Nice job by Kelsey Williams. Into the corner she goes with it. And Williams, Fleming, Redmond, Lee. 2 minutes left in this third quarter. Lee. Shot on the way, no good. Johnson went down. Stimpert went down.
A lot of action here, a lot of acting, I should say.
First foul on Lee of Central Missouri, though, after all that.
Yeah, she's been really sturdy here tonight, and she's giving players a hard time, and that's definitely a push. Definitely. And by the way there, Ben, Baylor just lost by 5 to Oregon State, so I was wrong at the halftime.
Snyder, another one in tight. Could not get it to go. They have had more than a handful of baskets like that. Ashland, where they've just bounced off the rim and haven't gone in. Central Missouri, you talked about it at halftime, all the points in the paint. 32 of their 35. A goose egg in that department so far here in this third quarter. Redmond doing it again. Knocked it down. Paige Redmond. The lead is 5.
She's in a zone.
She's got 20. Stempert challenged by Lee. Double team on Williams. She split right through there last time. Gets by 3 defenders here. They got numbers. Open in the corner. Rebounded by Andy Doherty.
What a job by Williams at the point, though. She just broke that press single-handedly.
Here's Dakin. No good. Crockett had it, lost it into the hands of Redmond. She looked like a young Julianne Vianney. That's what you're saying, right?
Oh, yeah. Come on. I lived and breathed for this time, the tournament time.
I know. The coaches knew that, too, yesterday. It was fun as Williams takes it in. And it's into the hands of Lena Snyder. Half a minute to go. The 2-second difference, game and shot. Short, rebound, Crockett. Shot clock off. Redmond, though, taking it right at him. No good. So now Ashland can play for the final shot here. Down by 5. Look inside to Snyder. Snyder up and under. Another one spit out. My goodness. So a 5-point lead for Central Missouri as we head to the 4th quarter. 73 straight wins on the line. The national championship in Division II on the line. And right now, Paige Redmond and her squad on top.
They should.
They should.
They should.
So far, this is everything you can ask for in a national championship game. Ashland's down by 5, mainly because of Paige Redmond, who is today's steal, cut above the rest.
20 points today. She is 4 for 6 from 3, and she's making it rain. They say the cream rises to the top come this time of the season, and she sure is playing like a baller. I love her intensity here.
Steal
tonight.
Cut above the rest. 8 for 11, 4 of 6 from downtown. what has surprised you the most to this point about this game?
I'm surprised at how tenacious Central Missouri's been and how Ashland's kind of rolled over in some ways. They've turned the ball over a lot. They've been a little bit uncharacteristic. And this is a low-scoring game for Ashland, and that's been the key. Second time this season trailing after third quarter for Ashland.
Yep. So
the low-scoring thing is really what surprised me.
Yeah, the other time was against Grand Valley State, the game we referenced earlier. Here's Lee, a game they were down in double figures and came back to win. Talking about Ashland, they won by 6 in overtime, 96-90 that day. Fourth quarter underway. National championship here in Division II on the line. Johnson has yet to hit a field goal in the game. A traveling violation's called here, and it's going over to Central Missouri and the Jennies.
And you have to wonder, too, is that winning streak something in the back of their mind where that pressure is there? The pressure is on them, and we talked to Dave Slifer about that, and he said, our guys are not nervous. We have nothing to lose.
Right.
We're not expected to win, so we can go out and play free, and they have.
Looking for their second national championship. Ashland looking for what would be their third.
But Central Missouri hasn't done it since '84.
Yeah.
So none of this group has seen even a taste of it.
Yeah.
Dave Slifer, the coach of the year for the first time, too.
Second foul called on Renee Stimpert. Head coach in his 14th season at Central Missouri. 29th season overall as a college coach. Redmond. Lee. Now Megan Skaggs against Andy Doherty. Lee, 16-footer, spit out, rebounded by Johnson.
Now they've done a little bit of a better job on Kayana Lee here.
And working inside, but the foul called on Kayana Lee there. That's her second.
First of the fourth quarter on Central Missouri.
Andy Doherty. Now Stimpert, skip pass. Dakin guarded well by Williams. Skaggs got a hand on it, nearly deflected it. Stimpert, hand in her face, no good. Good hustle by Elena Snyder, up and no good. And it's Lee with another rebound.
Another one. She's got a nose for the ball. His offensive and the defensive rebounds have been pretty even here today. But that's been a big deal for Central Missouri.
7 rebounds for Lee in the basketball game. 5-point lead for Central Missouri.
Where we've seen Ashland give people a hard time is off second chances.
Here's Lee, double teamed into the corner. Williams fires, no good.
And it's a foul.
It is a foul.
Wow.
Yes. She will go to the free throw line to shoot 3, and that is 3 on Jody Johnson.
You certainly don't want to bail a player out behind the 3. But that's the right call. She got her on the arm. Just not a good closeout. You got to close out under control. And I've really liked the way Kelsey Williams has played today. She is the reason they're breaking the press. She's also playing the point, which is allowing Paige Redmond to move off the ball more. That's why you're seeing her get some open shots. And she told us yesterday that Kelsey has made her a better player.
Yeah. So for the second game in a row here, that young lady, Jody Johnson, with 3 fouls, although 2 days ago in the semifinal round, Williams almost stole it from her. She had 3 fouls early in the second quarter and barely played in the first half. Now in crunch time with 3. Snyder inside, good quick look. That one won't go.
That's another bunny.
Wow. The lead is 7 for Central Missouri. This Ashland team with 44 points. They average 99.8 points a game. And a traveling violation called there on Fleming.
We knew Central Missouri would have to slow the game down. They'd have to slow it down. They'd need this to be low scoring for them to win. And Ashland has 18 missed layups.
18.
is what we're being told right now, which is
wow, that's
a lot of chippies that you want back.
That's mind-blowing, considering what this team has done and what they are about. Johnson, that one won't go. Another one that spits out.
There's just a lid on the basket for Ashland.
7 minutes remaining. Division II Women's National Championship.
The pressure is rising here.
Yeah, it is. Inside, Skaggs couldn't get it to go. Johnson on it. She goes down hard. Landed awkwardly on her wrist, her hand.
Yeah, that right arm somewhere.
The foul's on Williams. That's her third. Ashland 0 for their last 11 shots.
And you just can tell there's that demeanor here for Ashland. They're not that typical energetic selves that we've seen.
You can read a lot from body language, can't you?
Definitely. They don't have the momentum here. Can they shift it?
They are over 6 minutes without a field goal. There's the number I mentioned earlier, 99.8. They're now up to 46.
They're not used to this.
They are not. They are being tested like they've never been tested this season.
How about Central Missouri? During the NCAA tourney, they have held teams to just 50 points a game. That is a great stat. So this is a solid defensive team too.
Missed there. They held Union, who averages 80, and another unforced error. They held them on Wednesday to 57. Not 99.8, but still 80 is a lot of points.
Definitely. So much of what the Jennies have done has been their defense for sure. And just taking control of the tempo. But to stay with it for 40 minutes is not an easy thing to do.
So we got a timeout, 6:13 remaining. 51-46. Upset brewing in the national championship game.
Okay.
Yeah. Robin Freilich and her team, 73 straight wins, down by 5 here in this fourth quarter. They started 7 of 7. They're 12 for 45 since.
That is an insane stat line, and they just have not been able to buy a bucket. I mean, they've missed so many chippies, and it seems like there's just a lid on the basket for them, and they're getting open looks, Ben.
Well, 73 straight wins. They're 36-0 this season. They were 37-0 last season, national champions. 5th longest win streak in NCAA history, men's or women's, all divisions. They haven't lost a game since March 12th of 2016. And don't kill the messenger, it's just been that kind of day for Ashland to this point. They missed 11 of their last 12 field goals. 27%. That 12 for 45 after the 7 for 7 start shooting from the field for Ashland. Second foul was called there on Brooke Smith of Ashland. Williams, watched by Smith. Doherty helped out, turnover into the hands of Sarah Hart. Jody Johnson, quick look inside. They got a piece of it. Good job by Lee to get over and get a piece of that shot. Foul called inside, though. It'll be on Central Missouri. And it's on Skaggs, her 4th.
And good movement here for Ashland. And they need to try to manufacture points. And the best way to do that is to get to the line. And they haven't gotten any easy baskets, it would seem.
So
she's got 4.
Yep, Skaggs checks out. Fleming back in. Stimpert back into the game along with Lena Snyder for Ashland. 5:49 remaining in the game. 3-point lead for Central Missouri. Central Missouri 0 for 4, shooting it from the field. Ashland fans wanted to push there on Paige Redmond. Fleming inside, took it in, put it through.
What a big basket, though, by Fleming. Playing with a lot of tenacity. Several players here stepping up.
First points in the paint this half for Central Missouri. Inside, Doherty doubled, got it out to Stimpert. Shot clock to 8, she fires, missed it.
And that's an interesting stat, Ben, given that they scored all their points in the paint in the first.
Yeah, 32 of 35 in the first half.
They actually have made quite a few threes in the second half. You think about Paige Redmond, she's hit a few. So that'll limit points in the paint when you're making trays.
Under 5 to go in the fourth quarter. In the Division II Women's National Championship. Shot clock to 5. Redmond to Lee. Lee bounce pass. Fleming lost it. Saved. They're not going to get it away. Shot clock violation with 4:37 to go. Dave Slifer's team on top by 5.
And Central Missouri continuing to move the basketball, and Morgan Fleming with the tough shot in the middle and the spin move finish.
Great look at some of the best moving pictures so far. We appreciate the folks in our truck, our tape room, putting that together. Coming up next, CBS Sports Network heads to the studio to talk all things NCAA tournament as college hoops experts bring you up to the minute reactions and analysis. Don't miss NCAA March Madness 360 presented by Infinity on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. 4:37 to go. 73 straight wins. Fifth most in men's, women's, doesn't matter what division. Ashland is down. They're the team with that streak by 5. Teams in this quarter are combined 2 for 13 shooting it from the field. Stimpert lofting one inside. Turnover. Ashland.
It has certainly been a tough night for Ashland. A lot of these things not going right on the night you need it most.
That's right. Good pass to Lee. Lee runs over, knocks down Snyder. And that's 3 on Keanu Lee.
Keanu Lee with the push off there, and that's the right call. And a tough play by Lena Snyder, just taking the contact.
Here's Andy Doherty getting a hand on it with Skaggs. Megan Skaggs trying to save it. The end of the Ashland bench. .359 remaining. Lena Snyder. Dakin getting a hand up was Lee. They wanted to go inside to Doherty. Time becoming a factor. 3 minutes and 40 seconds left now.
And you want to take a good shot. No need for Central Missouri to force anything bad here, but they want to get a good look.
Williams, Redmond, not what they wanted, but they got the rebound, and they're in trouble, but they're going to maintain possession, it appears, with 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Robin Freilich looking on, the head coach of Ashland. Lob it in. Megan Skaggs turns, got the roll!
That was a big one.
Yes.
Big shot in a tough situation.
Timeout taken. Central Missouri 2 for 12. Shooting it from the field in this half. And Megan Skaggs gets the roll to finish when we come back. Megan Skaggs with a huge basket there as we come back from break. It puts it up to a 7-point lead now. Julianne with 3:10 remaining. Ashland has 4 points in the quarter. They're 1 of 8 shooting it. Snyder against Lee, who's been a beast inside. Another opportunity, won't go. Fresh 30. Snyder doubled, goes underneath, got that to go, did Lena Snyder.
And at a time like this, I expect to see a player like Snyder, Doherty stepping up. A lot of senior leadership on this Ashland team too. A ton of time left. And picking the full court pressure up.
10 seconds. Right in front of our vantage point. What a job by Ashland.
Think about this, Ben. As bad offensively as Ashland has played, this is still a 5-point game.
Yeah.
This is still, Central Missouri hasn't been able to run away with it, and they've gotten Ashland to play the worst offensive game of their year. After 21 missed layups, and they're still in this.
That's mind-boggling. Snyder, a little 14-footer, no good. Battle for it. Johnson's got it! put it up and in! Jody Johnson, the player of the year in Division II. Her first field goal in the game. And Paige Redmond lost the contact there, so a stoppage for that.
Now, these are a couple of really big plays for Ashland. First, they get the defensive 10-second call, and then, of course, Johnson with the first one to the basketball and the finish, the first bucket of the night for her. It's been a heck of a night. She's had a hard time getting shots off, and a couple of really big plays, though, for Ashland.
.2:18 remaining. Kelsey Williams gets it over the timeline this time. Pressure all over. Redmond's open near side. Coming up on 2 to play in this national championship game. 3-point lead for Central Missouri.
And somebody's got to help her on the double.
There's Skaggs. Got it! Another bucket from Megan Skaggs to put it back to 5.
She's a gamer.
Doherty for Johnson. Lee in her path. Skip past Stimpert, trying the 3 ball. No good. They save it. Back into Snyder. Johnson saved it. That won't go. Lee's got it.
And no one was taking that one from Lee.
Wow.
And now you got to think about fouling here pretty soon. Got to go after the steal first, clearly, but they're going to dig it up.
Kelsey Williams. Double comes. Lee's open. Skip it. Skaggs. She's been hot. Got it! She continues to be red hot.
Oh,
My!
she's going to win them the game here.
Here's Doherty, a little lefty. That won't go. Now you got to foul. Gonna launch one out for Megan Skaggs. Puts on the brakes and puts it in. A 10-point game. Megan Skaggs with 9 points in 2 minutes and 40 seconds. And there's the foul on Kiana Lee. Central Missouri leads by 10.
Unbelievable. How about Megan Skaggs coming to play, coming up big when it counts in crunch time. A beautiful job here with the fake, and then she finishes 9 straight points from her. She's been the game changer here. That is what I call rising to the occasion.
Timeout taken. 10-point game with 32.1 left. We're back right after this. I say 10-point lead. Central Missouri has Ashland down by 10, and in large part to that young lady there, Megan Skaggs.
Rising to the occasion, young lady. That is how you play.
She has 9 points in the quarter. Ashland has 8. And
9 points in 2 minutes, you said.
2:40.
Crazy.
And you said to me when she made that basket when we went to break, and that ball rolled in, you said that might very well be the game.
Yeah, no, I thought it was, absolutely. Because she had 7 seconds to make that shot. It was a tough turnaround jumper, and she made it. And you could tell she was in a zone, and she was feeling it.
Redmond,
under pressure.
Good on the first. 73 straight wins for the Ashland Eagles. National champs last year. National champs in 13. Half a minute remaining. Jody Johnson brings it over the timeline. Stimpert's got a launch. She does. No good. It's been that kind of night for Ashland. Over 20 missed layups. The ball spit out countless times on shots that look like we're going in. Robin Freilich looking on. They're 4 of 20 from 3. Ball knocked away. Kelsey Williams has got it. And she's fouled by Lena Snyder with 14.1 to go. Central Missouri, the Jennies, came here as the 6th seed. They knocked off the national champion from 2 years ago.
But to stop a team who's on a 73-game winning streak.
Yeah, you're going to go down in history.
Yes, you will. I mean, people around the country talking about this winning streak of Ashland, and eventually you have to lose, of course, but what a game to choose to beat them in.
This is the largest deficit all season for Ashland. 14 points. That won't go. Rebounded into the hands. How poetic is that? Megan Skaggs with a basketball. And Central Missouri, the 2018 Division II National Champions. What a moment for their program, their university, their fans, their community back in Missouri, Warrensburg, Missouri. They pull off the upset, defeating Ashland, who had won 73 consecutive games. And they'll take that trophy home. Ashland denied the championship in back-to-back years. And Dave Slifer has a title to his own now. An amazing and incredible, a spectacular performance turned in by the Jennies of Central Missouri. Once the clock hit 00, that is how it looked. What a beautiful picture that will be for many, many years to come for Central Missouri. Ashland led the game 16-6. They were 7 of 7. After that, Central Missouri outscored them 60-36. Let's go to Julianne Vianney, who's now with the national championship winning coach, Dave Slifer.
So you're
Coach,
saying there's a chance.
Yes, I'm saying there's a chance. That's right, and you did it today. Coach, tell me how this feels, this moment right now, to break that kind of streak. How are your players able to continue with that pace throughout this game?
It was surreal. The pace was controlled by my point guard, Kelsey Williams. We played at the pace she wanted to play at. Yes, she had some turnovers. We all had turnovers, but they couldn't get run-out fast breaks. They only scored 52 points. I think they averaged close to 100.
How key was your defensive effort today, just being able to body them up?
Well, we are a physical team. Kayana Lee came up with huge rebounds for us. Our 2-3 zone was great. I can't say enough about our guard play.
Points in the paint today was enormous, especially in the first half. How key was getting out in transition, exploiting that full court press?
Well, it's so tough because they want you to take some of those layups. They want you to take open threes, and they want to go back the other way. So, yes, it kind of looks strange, I know, because we got a lot of shot clock violations. We had no problem with them.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And thank you. We'll be back going to Julianne momentarily. How about this quote from Dave Slifer? He was asked yesterday, it's what you dream about. He said, I think the best text I got was from a retired coach who said, I'm jealous of you. I never got to do it, but I'm proud of you guys. And he's even more proud now. Back to Julianne with the victorious Jennies of Central Missouri.
Girls, congratulations. What a victory today. And Skaggs, wow, the end of the game. The cream rises to the top. What was going through your brain after you made that shot? Turnaround jumper, 7 seconds to go. I said it on the air. That was the game winner, and then you just continued from there. 9 points in 2 minutes.
Yeah, you know, my mentality was just refuse to lose, and I really think it showed through in the last 2 minutes there.
How pivotal was your defensive effort as a whole tonight?
Yeah, well, trying to stay out of foul trouble didn't really work for me. I was definitely in foul trouble. But, yeah, you know, our coach said they haven't seen our defense all year, and I think that really was the key into winning this game.
Congrats. Go enjoy this. Go dancing a little bit. Let me bring in Paige. Paige, what a performance you had. And we talked yesterday, and you said for 2 years you've been talking about this year. What is special about this team, and why was that in your gut that you could win it this season?
We trust each other. I mean, we've trusted each other since last year, and so having a year of built trust, I mean, it completely showed tonight.
You were such a gamer tonight, finding ways to score. How can you attribute a lot of that to Kelsey, your point guard?
She found me when she needed to. She would drive in, draw all the defenders, and then find me and kick it, so it was perfect.
How are you able to keep the pace and to keep excited in order to beat a team on a 73-game winning streak?
I mean, we try to go play by play, worrying about the end, like, yeah, this is great, but during the game, we wanted to just take it play by play.
All right, thanks a lot, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Ben?
Thank you, Julianne, and thanks to Dave Slifer and all their team for everything this week. 66-52, Central Missouri wins the Division II Women's National Championship. For Julianne, all of our crew, my name is Ben Holden. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Now we send it to New York City for NCAA March Madness, presented by Infinity, with Brent Stover and the gang in our New York studio. So long from South Dakota.
Would the members of the all-tournament team please Presenting the individual award is Elaine Keating. Team members for Central Missouri are Megan Allen, Cindy Crockett, Morgan Fleming, Abigail Gann, Kendra Black, Emily Jones, Kiara Lee, Gabrielle Lafferty, Paige Ripton, Madison Sandor, Jolie Schiff, Megan Stagg, Sydney Stagg, Hayden Taylor, and Betsy Williams. Coaches and staff for Central Missouri, head coach James Slifer.
Are they going to leave us here?
Tammy Slifer.
Also take the blue.
Mike Nicholson. Mackenzie Williams. And Crystal Lee.
Take it again.
Yeah, coach, right here.
All right.
Number one, babes. Number one. Oh, yeah.
Right up, just like that. Thank you, thank you.
Smiles like this.
Thanks, Dave.